Welcome to the Prince Eats. Here's a quick video for bacon gnocchetti pasta. Ingredients are in the description. If you enjoy this video and find it helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This pasta is creamy, delicious, and very easy to prepare, so let's get started. The first step in this process is prepping your ingredients. Here I have uncured bacon. Later I'll discuss why uncured works well for this dish. Carefully slice your shallots and put them to the side. And lastly, mince your garlic. Here's a tip. Use a food processor instead of using your knife. The next step is to grab your pan and put it over medium to medium-high heat. At this time, we're going to cook the bacon. And because of the fat content that's in bacon, you don't need any butter or oil for this step. It'll generate its own grease. And depending on the pan you use, don't worry if it sticks to the pan. Initially, you want to stir until just the right amount of fat is rendered, but after that, just stir occasionally until it browns. Normally, this can take approximately 5 to 8 minutes. This dish moves along pretty quickly, so take this opportunity to boil your gnocchetti pasta. Follow the directions on the packaging. However, for this dish, prepare it slightly firmer than al dente. We'll discuss why later. Now that your bacon is crispy and browned, similar to this, go ahead and drain it. Save the bacon grease for a future dish. Bring the pan back to the stove and put it over medium to medium-low heat. Add some butter. You might be wondering, why would I add butter if I just recently drained the bacon grease? Keep in mind, bacon grease has a higher salt content. That's one of the reasons why we use uncured bacon. At the same time, excess grease has a tendency to break your sauce when you're working with a creamy sauce. And we really want the sauce that we prepare to adhere to the pasta. Add your shallots and garlic. As you can see here, I've moved the bacon off to the side and away from the center of the pan. On this stove, the center of my pan is going to be the hottest section of the pan. So I'm going to use that space to cook the garlic and the shallots. Cook long enough until the shallots become slightly tender and the garlic fragrant. And before I forget, use unsalted butter for this step. Again, bacon is already highly salty. You don't want to add salted butter. Add just a few pinches of fresh black pepper. If not already, turn the heat on medium and add your heavy cream and a couple ladles of the pasta water. Here I want to take another opportunity to re-emphasize the decisions I make with the salt content in this dish. The purpose of using the unsalted butter and the uncured bacon is we want to minimize the amount of added salt we include in this dish. The pasta water is generally going to have a higher salt content because boiling pasta generally does require salt. Now that your sauce is simmering, reduce the heat to low. Add your cream cheese and Parmesan cheese. There should be enough residual heat to melt the cheese. Stir occasionally so that the cheese doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. If you're using a non-stick pan, this will probably be an easier process. Stainless steel will require more attention. Add the gnocchetti pasta to the pan. Here's another reminder that the pasta should be cooked slightly firmer than al dente. Reason being is we're going to allow it to cook the remainder of the way inside this hot cream sauce. If you allow the pasta to boil any firmer than al dente, you run the risk of having it break during the cooking process while it's in the pan. Another reason why I like to cook my pasta slightly firmer than al dente is because I take into consideration how I want to reheat this dish as a leftover. If your pasta is overly cooked the first time you prepare it, you're going to be in for a pretty mushy experience once you reheat this dish. Allow the pasta to cook for approximately 1 to 2 minutes. The sauce will continue to thicken. Dump in your chives and stir long enough until mixed in evenly. Be careful not to stab your pasta. I recommend using the push method to stir your pasta. And after stirring in your chives, this pasta dish is done. As you can see, it was very easy to prepare, and so much that you can easily produce this on a weeknight. If you follow all the critical steps I mentioned earlier in this video, especially considering the salt content, you'll have creamy goodness. Dinner is served. Visit theprinceeats.com for more simple and easy meal ideas just like this one.